Are you still doing all your banking locally? If you are, it may be time to consider incorporating a digital bank into your world. In this video, I'm going to cover a couple of the reasons why I think having a digital bank is a must. Additionally, I'm going to touch on why you should be looking for some safe haven assets. To keep things simple in this video, I will be referring to the Wise Wallet, but I'm going to be making a change soon, so make sure you stay to the end of the video to find out why and hear my number one reason for using a digital bank. Let's start with the fees. There's nothing like discovering that it just costs you $10 to send $100. With any digital-only bank, all charges are clearly outlined before you make a transaction. Not only that, typically when you're transferring funds or changing your currency for travel, the fees are much lower. Speaking of travel, if you're planning to do much traveling, having a digital wallet allows you to keep accounts in multiple currencies and transfer funds back and forth yourself. So no more landing at home with a pocket full of Nicaraguan Cordoba. You keep it in your wallet and pull it out at a local bank as you need it. I currently hold currencies in Canadian and American dollars, euros, as well as Albanian lek. But no matter where you're traveling, you will be able to open an account in the local currency in just a matter of minutes. No more lining up at the bank just to be told they have to order your money in. So if you're anything like me, it always seems I'm either bringing too much or not bringing enough. So let's talk security. I want you to wipe away any hesitation that you may have around the security of digital banks. They use advanced security measures like two-factor authentication, biometric logins, and encryption, which explains why many consider digital wallets to be more secure than traditional banks, especially these days. At the time of this posting, we have seen 5 banks collapse in just the last week. So this brings me to my number one reason for preferring my digital bank over my local bank: worldwide access to my money. Having lived in Europe for the last year, I cannot tell you how many times my Canadian bank has closed my account or canceled my card for suspected fraud. I completely understand the need to be hyper diligent in today's cyber world, but come on! In one day alone, I found myself on the phone with my bank 4 times, and I'm sure you've all experienced being on hold for forever. But when you're out of the country, that starts getting a little expensive. So thank goodness for my Fongo phone. Didn't cost me a dime. And if you aren't familiar with VoIP phones, be sure to catch my last video where I not only talk about VoIP phones, but eSIMs as well. But I digress. Twice now, when I did get through to the bank, they've asked me to come to the branch to verify who I am. Just popping into the bank is not an option for me. I spend minimally 8 months a year out of the country. The banks are well aware of this. They know I reside in Albania. It appears the biggest problem they have is they just don't trust me enough to have the good sense to know where I should be spending my own money. Back to the bank. Imagine finding yourself online, making a transfer or a transaction, and you have that notice, "Contact the branch," pop up. Not that unusual. So I call expecting to clear this problem up right away, only to have them tell me they don't support the institution that I'm sending my money to. I'd be like, what? See, now this is a true story. I asked them if it wasn't in fact my money to do with as I like, only to be told no. It was their banking policy and they didn't support the purchase of crypto, and that the transfer I was making was to a wallet that allowed crypto purchases. I was gobsmacked. I did a little research and I discovered that in fact the money in the bank wasn't mine. Here's a quote from Professor Google. At the moment of deposit, the funds become the property of the depository bank. Thus, as a depositor, you are in essence a creditor of the bank. Once the bank accepts your deposit and agrees to refund the same amount, or any part therein on demand. It's not your money, people. I recommend just keeping your living expenses in your central bank. Quick note, I have not had this problem with my credit union. They're privately owned and they're not under federal jurisdiction, not subject to ESG, and they are member owned and have a much higher percentage of their deposits on hand. This is just one of the many reasons that I'm coming to really distrust traditional banking and consequently have transferred most of my assets to physical and digital gold, also known as Bitcoin. Both are safe haven assets, but with the crypto being more volatile, I'm able to make more financial gains. For those of you who are convinced that Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme, and I want you to just look around. New statistics say 1 in 4 people currently hold Bitcoin, and the massive corporate adoption speaks for itself. Check out the link in the comments section below. There's a well-made, unbiased video, and you can decide who's running the Ponzi scheme, fiat or crypto. Leave a note in the comment section if you're interested in hearing more about this newbie's journey into crypto and why I'm taking the ride. I hope this was helpful to you. Now, your turn. Click those buttons, peep, and you do not want to miss the next video.